Cam and Millie.
What?
Smutting with Cam and Millie.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, it started. Yeah, I do that. I did that on the last podcast we did. I would tell them, hey, we'd just be talking. I just hit record.
Seriously?
It's better like that. So I chose the name Smutty Buddy because you came to me and you wanted me to read the books.
Oh, so we're like buddy reading.
Yeah.
But we're smutty buddy reading.
Right. I'm your Smutty Buddy because you do this.
Okay, I get it. Okay, that rocks. I like it now. Go ahead. We can keep it.
Right.
We can keep it.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Smutty Buddy podcast, where we talk about reading books together as a couple, which was an amazing experience. I think, what is that one over there?
Which one?
The Crescent City. Millie was trying to get me started on that one just because there was a lot of sci-fi, and that's already what I read. So it was.
Yeah,
it was a lot of characterization. It was a lot to remember. So
yeah, anybody who knows, who's read Crescent City, is a lot of world building in the beginning. It is a thing that's known. So it's a lot to read in the beginning. I think that's where I messed up. Is I gave you that first to be the first thing that you read.
So we decided to read a book together for the first time and actually commit to it. And the book that we're reading is Mine for a Moment by Catharina Maura. I mean, I had to remember so many different characters' names in this book. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And I was complaining about Crescent City. I was complaining about this one, and then Crescent City. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's my thing. Okay, so I have this issue in movies too. Do not give me too many characters at once. And it didn't do that. That Crescent City one gave you whole groups and stuff at once.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bro, all right.
It's the fantasy world, yeah.
And it's crazy because me loving things like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, it's wild because it's mad characters in those too.
That's true.
But it's visual also, which is another thing. Oh, okay. So now I'm remembering how I wanted to start off this podcast. I'm remembering how I wanted to start it off.
Okay. We're already 2 minutes in.
So, first of all, I wanted to start with good things. Okay. Because I believe in
I mean, that's good.
Don't really yuck everybody else's young. So I'm going to start with good things.
Right. Okay, so can we start before you start? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to go into the reading part. Start with judging how the book looks.
Okay.
We do this.
Mm-hmm.
He listened to it. He did the audio.
No, we're going to get into that first.
Oh, no.
No, wait. We're going to get into that.
He did it. So I let him read the book, but he didn't have time. So he did the audio version. I did my Kindle because that's what I usually carry around everywhere. So that's what I had. Other than that, I do have the physical book. I like the physical book. I like the chapter pages. They're cute. They have this. It's the same art everywhere, just a different chapter. And it's electronically signed by her. Yeah. Okay. I did realize after I bought it, they have a pink version.
What?
Where the name I think is in pink, or the background is a little bit lighter in pink. Yeah, but it was. I mean, either way, I like it.
Okay. Yeah, when you gave me that book, you were like, "Don't do this,
yes.
Don't do that," because
everybody who reads
I'm
books
hard on those books.
loves them. So. He tends to do this fold turn thing. No, that's enough.
and we're gonna get into that for a moment because the moment I started listening to the audiobook, I didn't touch that physical copy except for once at the end. When I was at the last 2 chapters, I really wanted to get through them.
Uh-huh.
And by that time, I figured out you could read the book faster than the audiobook, then they can narrate it, which is crazy. Because if you go to the end of the audiobook, they start recommending other audiobooks for you. And I started listening to a few, and there's a lot of narrators who... Okay, I'm going into negatives. Never mind. So, positive.
Okay.
This book was narrated by Troy Duran and Maura Brehan.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Maura because she actually moaned in the
Are
scene,
you serious?
and it was okay. It was good. It was all right. It
Seriously?
was all right.
I
And
cannot.
and Troy did his. You know what I'm
He did his way.
saying?
Not you doing
You
the
know what I'm saying?
noise. I
Oh my
cannot.
goodness. So, good shout out to them for the acting. And they did different voices,
Yeah. Yeah.
for
That
the
is
different
one thing
characters. And
that
you could see the characters' different voices. You could tell how the character was coming off in the voice, which is
yeah.
great.
One thing I did hear the sample. I'm not an audio girly, so I don't like audio. And one of the reasons why is because when it's the male version, a lot of the audios, the female does the man version, and then the man voice, and then when it's the man's point of view, the man does the female voice, and it kind of throws me off. In this one, when I heard the sample, it wasn't like that. The guy, he had, whenever it was his turn to talk, even if it was her point of view, you would hear his voice.
That's exactly how it
And
was.
she would, you would hear hers when it was even his point of view. So I like that. I did enjoy that part.
Yeah, because the chapters are like point of views from the characters, which I thought was
dual
cool.
POV is what we call it.
And from you, oh, look at you, getting all technical. Dual POV. So that I thought was cool, and that is something that I like toyed around with the idea of one day probably playing around with that, because I usually think there's this when I'm writing, I think there's this thing that you could do where you only have to stick to one point of view, one narrator for the whole story. So when I seen it dual point of view from different point of views, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
You switch from this one person's point of view to another point of view.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about some more positive.
Really?
Yo, I'm gonna go in on this book. It's not even funny.
Okay. What did you think about? So let me help you. What did you think about the spice on a scale of 1 to 5? Because we do 1 chili pepper to 5 chili peppers. Where do you think the spice was? Was it a lot of spice or was it not a lot of spice?
Okay, one thing you gotta realize is that this is my first one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're going up. What do I think the spice level?
Yeah, I mean it's different for everybody.
Is from my point of view,
right?
Thinking that you're reading porn books. So it's
well,
what I'm saying?
There's some it's different for everybody. So where you think it might be 1 chili pepper, it might be 3 for me.
1 chili pepper, and then 3 is the top.
No, it's 1 to 5. So 5 is there was a ton of it.
All right.
And 1 was there was very minimal.
I give it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised about how invested I was in the characters.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that when the spice came, it was like, oh, okay. I mean, you could see it coming, but pause.
I cannot.
No pun intended. You could see the spicy scenes coming, but at the same time, it was they weren't ill placed.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was in the moments that it needed to be, not in oh, why did she throw that in there?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it did go. Now I do, which I love this. This is not really a con for me, but it was very early on in the book where it started building that sexual tension, which I totally enjoy.
Okay,
I love it. I love that.
The build up was crazy.
Yeah.
And we're gonna the build up was crazy. And this one, I was just like, man, it should have happened a long time ago. No, but yeah, no. So that was good. All right, cons.
Oh my god.
This is where I get out the notes. And this section of the show is called Terms I Don't Want to Hear in a Book Again. Okay?
This is so funny.
Hey, you see the list, don't you?
I know.
Bruh, and I
The
don't
term's
know. Okay,
funny.
look, because I was listening to the book.
Yeah.
You were reading it. Boy, and it's like the narrator said the terms the exact same way every single time they were reading it.
Okay.
I never want to hear cup somebody's face again. I never want to hear anybody drinking anybody in. I don't know what.
Drinking her in when you're like staring at her.
Oh my
Like,
god.
drinking her in.
I never want to hear that the other person doesn't realize it. I mean, this one was like late in the book for me, but
What do you mean,
like she's so fucking beautiful and she doesn't even realize it. Like
maybe she doesn't.
maybe she thinks she's hot, but she's living a normal life. Okay, whatever. I never want to hear a murmur, parting, or placating again in my entire. Like this book did enough. The murmur was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie.
Murmur was like
Murmur
was in there. I was murmur. You got mutter. You have whisper.
Yeah, whispers in a lot of them.
Yeah, but this one was murmur. Like there's so many different antonyms. I was.
Now I am gonna.
Now parting not that much, but murmur and placating. Boy, those two words.
I'm gonna say she is very much of you, where like she uses these really big words sometimes, or like a word that you were like, she could have. I mean, I get why she used this word, but she could have just done it more like a more easy layman term type of word that she could have used.
Yeah,
but she didn't. She used a little bit more of a fancy word. So I can see that. She used a lot of
fancy words, but then she used a lot of phrases and words over again.
Yeah,
which
a lot.
In writing, I mean, even when you're doing like nonfiction work, like when you're writing a paper, they always tell you like shy away from using the same words in your paper and go to words that mean the same thing, like it, because then you'll like start to repeat yourself, and that will start to be a problem.
Yeah.
So in the same thing in fiction writing, it's like when you start to use the same words, people get tired. They're like, okay, bro, what is what you always use on like
yeah
in work, like when you talk to somebody like you probably heard me say like 15 times. There's probably a counter like right up there. How many times I say
like for real?
Like for real.
I'm from Florida, so I say like a lot.
For real.
He said, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
In New York.
Right.
Whatever. Anyway. Terms I don't want to hear again. We're reviewing. Cup her face, drinking anybody in.
That's so funny.
Whoever doesn't realize it, and I don't want to hear the words murmur or placating again. Parting. Okay, like there was a total of like what, 4 or 5 6 scenes in this book?
Yeah, about.
Everyone used parting. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, aside of like the spicy moments. But okay, whatever. So that was a section I really, really want to talk about because was that one. Because so because we were recording this podcast, I told her until we record, we're not talking about anything about the book. True. This right here was something that I just it was getting on my last nerve.
That's so funny.
So we're gonna get to what I thought overall of
about the book. Yeah.
But boy, I mean, we'll revisit this at the end when we talk about the overall grade of the book. So yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. Those terms I'll never want to hear again.
One con I do have, which you probably wouldn't have noticed it because you didn't read it, but in the Kindle, and I don't know about the book version of it, but there is a lot of misspells. Either not misspells, but there's a lot of words missing in the sentence. Like the sentence doesn't make sense, and you realize
in this book?
Yeah.
when you're reading it?
Yeah. I've not, and
Oh.
actually, I just finished reading another one of hers, Until You, and it's the same thing.
Could it be that like they just put more effort into the like the audible, the reading one, because most people are
Most people like,
listening to
yeah,
books
could be.
now?
And
Like,
it could also be that you don't notice it because the person who's reading it will correct it
mm.
instead of reading it the
But
way
you
that
would think
it's.
they would provide the author with like their edits so that you could go back and do all the,
I don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
in the Kindle version, there was words missing, or they put a word there that didn't make sense, and should have been replaced for something else. Um, and it could have just been like a oversight or something. But it's not too much of a whatchamacallit deal breaker for me when
Mhm.
it comes to using it. Or Lord
Reading
Jesus,
it,
yeah.
yeah,
When it
for
comes
you
to
to
reading
understand.
it, it's not that much of a deal breaker for me because I can just fix it, but it is a little annoying.
Yeah, to like be like, okay,
Because I have to read. I'm already a slow reader, and I have to read it, and I'm like, wait, read it again. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
yeah.
So,
No, I totally feel you. All right. Well, I mean,
okay, I need more.
I think cons from here forward for me and pros from here forward for me
Okay.
are gonna go when we like do it step by step. I wanted to go as best as we can, chapter by chapter. And this is my thing about this book. I didn't really start taking notes until around chapter 15, which is probably like when the spice started happening, like when stuff really started getting hot. So
Okay.
if we were to go chapter by chapter from 1 to 15, don't got any notes for that.
Okay.
And
I mean,
I
it's
don't have notes every single chapter, but there are some ones I want to hit though.
okay. Come on,
All right.
tell me.
So chapter 1,
Okay.
I don't, and it took me a long time to like. All right, so the other book I'm currently reading is Dune, and because I love the movies and because I like the book, I didn't really have to get engaged with the book from the beginning. I was already engaged. I was already liking it, so I'm already sold on the story.
Mm.
What probably that meant for me was
Mhm.
chapter 1 through 14. I was trying to get sold on the story. Can't really recall all of it. Remember the characters and
Really?
remember how you build on it from there forward,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So it was a struggle for you to catch on.
a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Just because it's like not my content that I like to
Well,
read.
yeah, yeah. Because if it was Dune for me, I wouldn't catch on to any point in time.
I feel you.
I don't do Dune. That ain't for me.
But I think what I'm realizing now is that like you just have to get people invested in the characters and then you got them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter what the content is because once I was invested in the characters, however I was invested in them, which we'll talk about, I was hooked until the end, so
Mm.
it was good.
Okay.
So initially, let's okay.
Like how you have a chapter in like one sentence.
Yeah, yeah. So I usually try to get like the thought and then how I'm gonna describe it. And this note, I'm just like, I don't remember what I was thinking in that moment.
Wait. It says chapter 15, talking about how he's getting while talking
Oh,
to his brother.
got you. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So you start off reading the book, and you figure out like who, where she's at, who she
Right.
likes. Oh, initial thoughts. I mean, it's so frustrating, like having that whole love triangle thing with like, okay, so I'm forgetting her name already, but I know who Theo is, and I know who Kristen is. Okay,
Stop.
and
I
and
can't deal with you.
so okay, so here we're introduced early
Yeah.
to one of the things that I think is amazing about this book, and I love, which is I kept asking.
Serenity.
Serenity. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Serenity Solutions. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yes. Because I'm thinking about all the points I want to make, and that's all I want to know. Okay, so I'm introduced to all these characters,
Right.
this whole love triangle with Serenity and Theo and Kristen, and I'm like, oh my god, everybody loves the love triangle, but
And who's
well,
Christian?
isn't Theo and Kristen. Kristen's the friend.
Oh, yes, yes,
And
yes. I'm sorry, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah, they're dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So at this point, I'm just like, and I'm gonna start this. I wanted to do this a little later on, but Serenity kind of pisses me off in this book. Like, all the time.
Okay.
Because it's like, if you like somebody, just tell them, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if
I mean, I get what you're saying, but not everybody has that same kind of confidence.
that's another thing. Like, okay, so in this book, you can obviously tell these are rich people. How do you not have confidence?
But they weren't rich from the beginning.
They're rich now. She just don't want to be rich. That's the problem.
She doesn't want to get in or get by
off of her name and her family.
off of her brother.
Right.
Because her brother's the one that has money.
The company.
Right.
Yeah. Now, how we went from chapter 1 to 62 without anybody at Serenity Solutions figuring out that Serenity is who the company is named after and connected to her brother, I will never understand. But
maybe it's just a coincidence. A Serenity for Serenity Solutions.
That was a con for me. It's just like, you could have made that into something crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with this type of book, you probably like, you've seen it with Harry Potter. You start off with small concepts and then you build them into bigger, more complicated ones later on. I don't know if this is part of a series. Is it part of a series? Are they probably going to make another one of this? I don't know.
So, I don't think it's part of a series. No, so it's not part of a series, but it is intertwined into like some of her other books.
Else. Okay. So, that's an opportunity to like explore other sides of the narrative as far as that goes. You know what I just realized? We did not plug that in, so that will charge. I forgot about that. Hey, first podcast.
So the phone dying just while
we going. This is gonna be in the blooper. This is why we.
But wait, you say that, and still none of us got our eyes to go.
We're just like, hey, you know, whatever.
At this point.
So that's one of my cons about it. Is like, all that time nobody connects the dots until the end of the book, and I'm just like, oh, that's a con, but also, I mean, you know, Catharina, Maura, if you see this is an opportunity to explore and take it to another level. So, you know, just, you know, putting that out there. All right. So we got this whole love triangle going on. Then we have it like, we have, by chapter 15, where are we at? Can we pull up chapter 15 and like read the first couple?
Cam's very technical. Okay. You know, another thing I just realized? We didn't say our names.
Oh, what? We'll get into that. We'll get it. You're going to grow with us, guys, okay? We're going to do these things, right?
Cam is very technical and he's very logical with a lot of things. And he is really into, like, literature and English and all that. So he gonna nitpick this book in a way that us women who read this will not nitpick this book.
And I'm just letting you know right now, I'm going to give the male perspective in this book because it is needed. Okay. All right. So this is what I hope this podcast grows into. Like, I hope this grows into, like, I witness you talking with people that you connect with on these books and y'all having conversations. And I know I intercede with, like, my male perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that it would be cool for people to sit back and all the people out there who wonder, I wonder what it would be like if my husband read these books with me. Now you know, okay? I'm going to give it to you raw. Like,
I cannot.
We're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So, the first couple.
So, the first couple, they're doing a video.
Uh-huh.
So this is Archer's point of view
Uh-huh.
And they're in the video call doing the eggs with his family and Ezra. Which, by the way, I love Serenity's brother's name because that's our son's name,
Yeah.
Ezra. So it was nice, and thank God that it was the brother and not the main character. I don't. I would have not read this book. I couldn't do it.
Right.
Couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
Okay, so that and we got. I'm not recalling this in the beginning.
He's a little off. He's like out off in the clouds, not paying attention.
I just gotta get grounded for where we're at in the book, and then we can jump off. So Ezra had always loved the tech. Okay, right here. Ezra had always loved the tech behind our products while I was level. Okay, normally I wouldn't have minded, of course, and then we moved to 16.
It's just Serenity. This is where she's already living with her brother, and he asks her to watch. I don't want to see starting there's no spark in her eyes.
Is this after he finds out the list that he's on the list?
Yes.
Here? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Damn. So 1 to 15, we're skipping a lot. Okay. So first of all, if you have a journal, keep it to yourself. Okay. How do you let just people just
it
just
fell.
pick it up and
it fell.
It conveniently fell. Oh my goodness.
See, this is the problem with men. Men get so technical with everything. You need to see it's like a movie,
okay.
You know?
You're going to put a list of people that you're going to smash, right? It's going to be a list greater than 2 people.
Well, not for her. For her, I think it just started with Theo, but when Theo was out of the picture, she just added somebody else.
I mean, you don't go out, girl. Serenity, you don't go out to the club, Serenity.
I just tried to talk to Serenity.
You ain't got 2 people? You ain't got number 2 people?
That's all.
Your best friend and your brother's friend. It's giving you don't go outside. That's what it's. I'm just saying.
She probably don't.
Oh my goodness!
She sounds like she's a very good. She sounds like she's a student.
Yeah.
Like very focused in her thing, and the only person she really hung out with was Theo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this confidence issue that she has. And that speaks to what you were saying, like maybe people aren't.
And there's also, remember, the loss.
Mm-hmm.
The loss of Tyra.
Which I was like, which is a pro of this book, because I always say in narrative and in movies.
Tyler Tracklin ass.
Let's not get there yet. Let's man, we ain't even take off yet on that. I'm always telling myself when I'm watching a movie, I'm reading something, whenever something is happening or whenever something is repeated, it's for a reason. And I kept telling myself, why do they keep bringing up this Tyra chick?
Because she was a big part of their lives. But yes, I get what you're saying. Like, you keep bringing it up, something's about to happen.
Like, she held on to her love for Theo. She's holding on to her love for Tyra. And Archer's holding on to his love for Tyra. Just let him go.
I don't know if Archer's holding on to his love for her per se. Like, he loved her. But
I mean, yes, we're
in love with her. You know.
Yeah.
But I get what you're going with that.
Yep. So that was good. And I have here chapter 15 talking about how he's getting while talking to his brother. I don't remember what I was saying there. So if I do,
we'll go back to it.
We will revisit it. All right. So it is so funny.
he went, yeah, girl, you about to get it right. You are such a fucking man.
I am. Because this is how Serenity pissed me off. She was like, oh my God, Ezra would be so disappointed if he knew what I was about to do, and I was like saying to myself right there, yeah, you about to get right. Well, Archer, that's what you about to do. Ain't nobody gonna be disappointed. No, I was like,
Oh my god.
all right. So, she says, I'll never live up to what he needs or what he's had before. And I put here sometimes men like women who are humble and don't realize who they are, but have the potential to be. Um, so I
Are
think
you
this
talking
was,
about sexually?
no. She was talking about how Archer had this taste in beautiful women and how she didn't really see herself as
Yeah, but
being
I
like
think that's not.
model women.
I mean, yes, but I think in that sentence that she was referring to, she wasn't referring to like her physique,
What was she referring to?
her skills.
In the bedroom? See, spicy books. I can't
If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what she. Now you have me going back into
So
to like.
she was talking about how she wasn't spicily adept sexually.
Yeah, because she's never been with anybody. So and he has. So she was saying that she'll never live up to what he needs or has had before.
Okay, same thing. She doesn't
feel like
sometimes
she can
men
live
like
up
women
to that.
who are humble and don't realize who they are, what they have the potential to be. Sometimes, girl, I can train you. So let's move on. I just what? I'm just saying.
Go to the next chapter.
So, all
this
right.
man literally has like 18, 19, 20 time.
So, chapter 17, when he gets aroused by her laundry and bites his fist, he says...
That biting the fit, that is...
Yeah,
nah,
weird.
no.
Like...
Okay, you know what's funny? Because I was reading it and I was like...
I was like, how do you...
Like, where is that...
Some people do that.
Yeah, but where is that
like,
sex scene?
Oh, dang.
No.
Like...
No. No, that would kill it for me.
I've seen it done before, you know.
Whatever woman likes that, fist? Please comment.
Okay.
That's weird.
So he was talking about how he tries to take it slow.
Right.
And I was thinking in this moment, yeah, sometimes it's hard to do because sometimes you want to be an animal.
I cannot.
And it's hard. It's
hard.
And this is so chapter 17 is the first time. You read the note, right?
See it.
So the first time they ever had a spicy scene, and she moaned, and I was like, oh, they moaned in the audio. I was in the car. I was like, okay, gotta turn down the volume because people don't think I'm watching the corn. Don't want that. So yeah, that was funny. All right, chapter 18. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
She did it. When did she do that?
Comparing Theo and Archer.
When did she do that? So
my note is comparing Theo and Archer. Because at some point, girl, when you move on to somebody new, you got to stop comparing who you got to who you've had before. And it was like every time they would talk, every time she would think about something, it was like up until the end, you bringing up the person all the time. So read to me what she said.
That's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find where she's comparing.
It was a constant thing. And I think that was the whole, because it wasn't until later in the book that they started playing, like even saying it, mine for a moment, like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the original thing, probably we skipped it from chapter 1 to 15 was you need to get over Tyra, and I need to get over Theo. So I just want to get some experience, and I want to lose my virginity. Let's have this moment with each other. I'm going to help you get over Tyra. You're going to help me get over Theo and get some experience sexually. Right. And we're going to go. And it's one of those, like, typical rom-com movies. Let's just have this agreement. not fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be buddies.
Right.
Be smutty buddies. You know what I'm saying? Smutty buddies in the bedroom. And what ends up happening? The two people end up falling for each other.
Right.
Like that is a just you common trope. Yeah. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I mean, 10 years strong, that was the foundation for this man. I was like, no, it works. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
And
guess.
that was, okay, that's one of the big things that, like, I was like, okay, about this book. Because in the end, spoiler alert, in the end,
I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows for
Mhm.
spicy books, romance books, there's a happy ever after. We call it HEA.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. There's always an HEA.
Except, even in the series one?
No, in the series
There's
ones,
never any
not each book
Okay.
will have one.
But
you'll have
At
cliffhangers.
the end of the series,
There's
always an HEA.
Yes, there's always an HEA. There's always a happy ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, okay, because
It'd be kind of weird.
The
Yeah.
market is more women.
Yeah, so it'd be
women
kind of
wanna
weird to
leave
not.
the book feeling good.
Right.
Right. You don't want to feel you've had books where you've left feeling angry because it didn't turn out how you wanted it to. Because there was no HEA.
Not in the series. So like
Okay.
I've ended books.
Because there's some books that you were like, yeah, no, I don't like it.
Well, okay, so it's not because it didn't end in a happily ever after. It's part of a series, and the end of that book was just fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know how I'm gonna start the next one.
Yeah, I'm like so into it. I was so like emotionally damaged.
Okay, so
by the last book.
if you know that all books end in the HEA, all series, just get through the series. Okay, never mind.
Says a guy who still hasn't finished Dune. You already know how it ends. Might as well just keep reading it.
No, we don't yet. Because I started off with the movie. Now I'm reading the books. We don't know how it ends yet. We're only doing part 2. We still got more movies for the books.
But you have the books though.
Move on. Chapter 19. All right. Oh
Lord.
Okay, chapter 19.
Okay,
she finds out. She finds out that Theo and Kristen are living in a house that, and I put they picked, but no, she picked it. And I put, bruh, at this point, you've gotten her favorite drink, which at this point I was like, oh damn, me and Serenity are the same person. Her favorite drink was an oat milk latte with hazelnut flavoring. I was like, bitch, that's me. I like that. So I was like, maybe she'll want me some brownie points. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties.
Is your mic on?
I think so.
Is it blue? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Is yours blue?
Yeah. So the phone died because neither of us got up to charge it.
Because I didn't get up to charge it.
Or I didn't get up. Whatever. We're not about to have this argument again.
We already had a fight about it off camera. Sorry.
So.
And I'm in the doghouse.
Whatever. So we were at the topic of chapter 19 about how Theo and Kristen are currently living
in an apartment that she picked.
That she picked for her and Leo.
And at this point, like I was saying, I was like, bruh, you've gotten her favorite drink.
Yep.
Y'all work in the same department in the company y'all both wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Now you're living in an apartment that she recommended. And at this point, you're just trying to be funny.
Yeah. So the same company of working, I'll give him leeway for that one because they both applied together. The whole point was for them to apply together, get in together, and move in together. Correct. So she likes to make lists. She made a list of things that she needed or she wanted them to do once they got the internship into the business that they both applied for. They got the internship. He said, no, I'm not moving in with you because I'm moving in with Kristen, which she kind of already figured that out. But then you proceed to pick not just any place to live from the list that she gave you. The top one that she wanted for you guys. You pick that one with Kristen, and you do everything else that she put on the list, like go to these different places that you guys were supposed to go together and experience together. Now you're experiencing it with Kristen and rubbing it in her face.
All the while talking about Serenity the whole time he's with Kristen, which we find out later in the book.
The what?
Which we find out later in the book. Because when they break up, Kristen's like, you're all, something about, I'm competing with her and she's not even in the room. Remember when Theo was talking about...
because this is the thing.
We're jumping 30 chapters ahead.
It's okay. Kristen already knew that she liked... First, that's trifling. That's some trifling shit. You're a trifling ass bitch, Kristen. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. If it was me, you would have catched these hands. Okay, I'm just saying, because that's messed up. How am I gonna go and tell you as my friend, hey, I like him, and yet you gonna pursue him?
Let's talk about it. If you in a triangle, and you look at your friend and you see your friend is not shooting her shot,
hell no.
Well, girl, if you're not gonna get the ovaries to shoot your shot, I will.
No. No. If that is my friend, let's say my friend came to me and we are friends with some dude. Your friend came to me and said, hey, I like dude. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go and pursue dude.
Did she tell Kristen she liked him?
Yes.
Okay.
She knew it. That's why she was more hurt with Kristen than she was with Theo.
First of all, it still stands. My point still stands. If you're going to wait forever and a day to tell this man that you love him, and he's got needs and wants, and he wants to be in a relationship, I'm going to put myself out there because obviously you're not.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with the fact that
it's the
found
same
somebody
thing
else.
In my profession. It's like if you don't go out and get after it, there's going to be another agent that's going to come in and fill the spot.
But if the other agent already knows that you have an agent, then he shouldn't even try to be your agent.
He shouldn't.
Because that's
as long
unethical.
as you have a signed agreement. But if you don't have a signed agreement,
either way, that's
it's fair game.
The signed agreement is my friendship.
You have to show your value.
No. The signed agreement is my friendship. If my friendship to you, when me and you become friends, there is a signed agreement, a girl code. You do not go after a man I like. That's vile. That's just vile. Like, that's just vile. Like, we just don't do that. You don't do that. You do, that's automatic annulment of our friendship, and that's an ass whooping.
What do you guys think?
I swear.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I've just some trifling shit.
Yeah, at this point, it was like Theo and Kristen. I don't know. I was looking at.
She couldn't even be mad that he was all like that.
Okay, well, there's been a couple people that. Well, there's been. Okay, never mind. No, this is we talking about it. There's been a person that liked me and I didn't know it until probably a year ago or so. Someone that liked me in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know it.
Well, yeah.
And we were all talking about it, and I was like, really? They really like me like that?
Yeah.
So, first of all, I can see that side of it, how you can, like...
Not see it.
Not see that somebody likes you and is interested in you. But then a part of me was more mad at Theo, because I was just like, you obviously know this person.
Yeah. How do you go around and not knowing that she likes you?
Right.
But then again, it's like...
I know that when you get a Subway sandwich, you only like 2 tomatoes. Only 2.
Only 2.
1 tomato on each side of the sandwich.
Yes.
Every time they get me to make the Subway sandwich, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yeah, 2 tomatoes, 1 on each side. Yes. They're like, okay.
Yep. Some people cut it, which I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and then they put like the 2 halves.
Yeah, on each side. I end up taking 2 of them out. I end up taking one off of each side because it's tomato.
But now it's technically one tomato.
Hey, that's fine with me.
So you put one half on each side?
When they cut it like that in half, yes. When they put the whole entire thing, I'll eat the whole tomato.
So it just has to
I'm
be two sections of tomato on each side.
yes.
So, like, let's say they were able to double the size of their tomatoes.
If it takes up the whole entire sandwich,
Would you have one single tomato slice,
yes.
huge on each side?
No. If it's
So there's
if it's
there's a
one,
size limit to the tomato that's
yes,
on each
because
side.
that's too much tomato.
Well, you, see, this is
If
why
the
you learn
tomato's too
things in
big,
marriage.
if the tomato's too big and it takes up like a big chunk of the sandwich, then just put one on one side of the sandwich. Don't cut it in half. Don't do none. Just put it on one side of the sandwich. Have one side of the sandwich with tomato, the other side of the sandwich without tomato. And that's it. That's my tomato ration.
Okay, here's my point. I know that you like two tomatoes
Yeah.
in your Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
I know you like the sweet and salty mocha from
Okay.
Canal Coffee. Shout out to Canal Coffee.
Yeah, used to it.
I know what you like.
Right.
That's why I got you.
Uh-huh.
So, like, for every man, when they know a woman, like, you know a woman,
Okay, but let me ask you this.
why do you not know that's your woman?
Okay, but let me ask you this. When we started hanging out in college,
Mm-hmm.
did you have a feeling before we even started whatever we started? Did you have a feeling that I liked you? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know.
So you're just trying to get that booty call, right?
No, no, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
until I was told that you wanted to start something with me. I didn't even know you liked me like that.
Okay, all right.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it could just be like I'm very outgoing and joking and playful and all
Okay,
that
so
stuff.
your
So
thing is you're more on Kristen because she knew.
hell yeah,
You know, no.
bitch knew. The fuck?
I don't know.
No,
I'm
that's
here
my
to get the
type.
man perspective.
No, no, no.
You deal with the women.
You stay over there with that.
Yeah.
You stay with that. Now Theo, he a little messed up because how you gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're jumping a little bit, but either way, how you gonna go? You're gonna go with Christian, whatever her name is. You're gonna go with her, be with her because oh you like her, whatever, and then start getting jealous because girl hanging out with Archer or this other dude over here paying her a little too much attention. Excuse me? No. Get your nasty looking ass away from me. And let
Yo,
me get with
all
Archer.
right, let's go to the next chapter before you and Kristen actually get into a fist fight. Oh, chapter 20.
I cannot.
Here's my exact quote of the note. Girl, stop bringing people up. Tyra edition.
Cheaper. Okay,
Man.
Tyra does get brought up
Yeah.
a little too much, I think, for my taste here. I kept to like, who the fuck is Tyra? Like Tyra Banks?
Right, like give her up. Like you talking to Archer about Theo.
Yeah.
You talking to Archer about Tyra. You talking to yourself about Theo and Tyra. Like, stop.
Okay, but
Here's my thing. Also, when you're reading a book, okay, so this is a pro and a con. When you're reading a book, you need to enter into a character's mind and know what they're feeling and know how they're thinking. So, you have to know how much this torments her mind over the course of this book. Yes. So, my thing that I'm struggling with still is like, is it still good that you keep talking about it and you keep bringing it up because the repetition is like showing us how you're being tormented and how it's weighing on you and how this feeds into like how you have this self
How you are
confidence
now, yeah.
thing and stuff like that. Like, does that feed into the characterization of who Serenity is? Or is it just like maybe you could give me the intensity of how serious it is, maybe one, two, three times, and then just leave it alone? I mean, I kind of feel like you should be able to do the latter, but
I mean,
I don't know.
I do think it was a little excessive the way that they brought Tyra up. But then again, something that I thought is when you are, I put myself in this position of I'm somebody who lost a family member, friend who I consider family member, but I don't know where they went,
Mm.
which was essentially what happened. You have no sign of her. They just poof out of nowhere disappeared. I'd probably be bringing her up too, because everything would
Because there's
like
no closure.
right, and
Yeah.
everything would remind me, like this little Star Trek thing would remind me of Tyra.
But do you know when? And I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention in the beginning of the book, but it kind of clicked for me. And I started going back to this point in the book, way later on in the book,
Mm-hmm.
when I found out that her and Archer broke up before.
Yes, stop it.
So then I was like,
What do you even feel?
so
What do you feel bad about?
then what?
But okay, so
But then when you learn more about, but should we discuss that a little later on, or we
okay,
want to
look.
discuss it now?
So
Or
I don't disagree with the fact that when I found out that they were broken up, I'm like, okay, so then what's the problem here? But at the same time, this kind of goes attached to the whole Kristen thing. This was somebody you considered a sister, an older sister, and now you're with somebody who she was with. Lord knows it will be a cold day in hell before I date any of my sister's exes. Cold, very cold day. Very cold day. Ain't nobody getting near none of them.
I mean, now, yeah.
Ain't nobody getting near none of them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, and if I do, that's just a little messed up. But then this is where a lot of people have an issue is um something like this will be, some people can consider it as like taboo, and it's a book. So obviously, it's something that you could do and it will be okay in the book, but it might not be okay out in the real world.
What do you mean by that?
Like the whole dating my sister's
Oh yeah,
ex or somebody who I consider a sister
let's not
ex.
talk about it,
Listen,
y'all. Hey, the internet
I
be
cannot.
into that with the whole sister thing, which
Yeah.
is another point I wanted to bring up. Is I mean, are these books loosely playing with that little taboo a little bit by
Oh
having
yeah.
the brother name the company after his sister and be kind of like motivated by the sister's tenacity that she like probably doesn't realize?
Don't do that. You are going way left with that. No, no,
There's a
Kim.
lot of people out
No,
there that
Kim.
probably
No,
will.
Kim. You're going so left with that. And to put no, not with his name like that. Don't do that.
Don't play with Ezra's name
Don't
like
do
that.
it with. Don't do
Don't
it.
play with Ezra's name.
Don't do
That's on Big Ezra.
it. That's on the live version. Okay. Don't do that.
Okay.
No, I think he was very protective of his sister,
Mm.
and um, that's just who he wanted to name his business after.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I don't think it was anything like that.
Mm.
Yeah. But did you realize that in the book, Ezra is Serenity, and Tyra and Asher is Theo and Kristen? Well, not really
Whoa,
Kristen.
wait, what?
Yeah.
That what?
So there's two triangles in this book. Did you know that?
Uh-huh.
Two love
Between
between Serenity, Theo,
Serenity
and
and
Kristen,
Theo. Serenity, Theo, Kristen.
Asher.
Archer.
I see. Archer. Change all of their names.
Ezra.
Ezra and Tyra.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Because she said it in the book that he looked pained more than a friend should be. That she didn't want to be with him for him to help her.
You spoiling it. I kind of wanted to save that.
Oh,
wait.
You could have told me to stop.
Yeah, no.
You could have told me to stop.
Edit it out. edit it out. All right, chapter 22. Her mad about the apartment. She did the work to find them to live there. Girl, get over it. What was my note? Stop being mad at your man, kind of like your friend Kristen. Oh, stop being mad that your man kind of like your friend Kristen. Oh yeah. Because Kristen was getting mad that Theo was spending a lot of time. This is exactly what you were talking about. This note is here. I was saying to myself, man, like you getting kind of jealous.
The way you get him is the way you lose him.
I'm just saying.
I just want to tell you that right now. Kristen, the way you got him by being sneaky and going behind Serenity's back, that's exactly how you're going to lose him. And
I wrote this note.
Her insecurities.
For the extent, like, for the whole time that I read the book, I did not catch that, like, Serenity told Kristen. So,
yeah.
I wrote that note, like, all right, I mean, I know, but...
She said it in the beginning of the book.
You know.
In the first 15 chapters. That you weren't paying attention to.
Hey, I had to cook. When it started cooking, though, that's when our brother was hooked. And it probably started cooking.
At chapter 15?
When it started cooking in the
I cannot. But yeah, that too. Kristen, when I read it, I was like, I don't know why she's mad about. It's her fault.
Okay. So chapter 23.
That was weird.
A note I have here, I need you to make me forget about them.
That was weird. That's a little weird, Serenity.
And then we played with this for like 15 to 20 chapters. Yeah. With like her going to make me forget. And I wrote, this might be a toxic relationship.
I don't know. Okay, my thing is,
it might be hot for y'all, but
my thing is they kept making it seem like their relationship wasn't turning into something more than what it really was. And first of all, her saying that is a little cringe. I ain't even gonna lie. That's a little cringy. You walk in, and the first thing you tell the man who is apparently really good looking and fine, make me forget. Bitch, the moment I walked in this house and saw you, I forgot. I don't know what you're talking about. Made me feel good.
What you're saying is, it's like, I still got a whole mountain right here to climb, but I just can't get over the last mountain.
Mountain? Just a mountain. Okay, this over here is a little slope.
Oh my goodness.
She can keep the slope. I'll take Everest. I climbed that bitch.
I don't know why I have right here.
I know exactly.
Chapter 26. Swallow.
I know.
I kind of forget.
I know.
This is
no.
Huh?
No.
Wow.
So what it was is that she performed, and he didn't. Like right when he was done, he got off or whatever, pulled out, and she was like, "Why'd you do that? I would have swallowed."
Oh.
At the moment I saw it, I already knew what you were talking about. Why is that the only thing you put up there? Swallowed with 4 exclamation marks.
See,
is it 3?
3.
No, still.
I think that's probably because I was like, girl, you shouldn't swallow.
That wasn't on her, though. That was on him.
Archer. Come on, bro. Come on, Archer.
I cannot.
Respect. I get your respect because first of all, this whole thing where Archer, and this is Okay, I wanted to touch on this a little bit earlier, and I'm glad we're here because to revisit, we kind of still are playing on this whole um fucking my sister trope.
No, what?
Yes, because for the longest time, Archer felt protective over Serenity as if she were a little sister to him because Serenity was Ezra's little sister.
Where did he say that?
It's not expressly said,
Exactly, so it's not.
but that is the sort of protective and sort of concern he had for her, leading up to realizing that he probably had feelings for her.
That it wasn't in a sisterly way. Is that what you're saying?
It
I think
it morphed from like you're my
No,
best
that's weird.
friend's little sister,
Uh-huh.
and I'm kind of protective of you because of that.
Right.
To maybe I'm attracted to you.
Okay, that's
Right.
more plausible than you saying he saw her as a sister
So
and
it
then it
tracks.
went into something romantic. Because
So
that's weird.
So it kind of tracks that he didn't do that in that because you respect her. There's a certain level of like thing you wouldn't do for her, and I don't understand that because
I can't. Go to the next chapter. We're not talking about Cállate. That's the next chapter.
What? You can't talk about this? No. We can't. Come on.
There's that level of respect, Cam.
Smutty. Hey.
It's that level of respect.
Look, I respect you a lot.
Stop.
That's all we're gonna say. Oh my goodness. I put here on for chapter 28. I don't like to share either. Ice cream scenario. Now you can't have that, friend.
I already knew it. Okay, first of all, that was the
funniest. Sometimes I make my notes and I want to highlight something, and I'm like,
I know exactly what it is.
Now I'm here and I'm like vaguely remembering it. I don't fully remember.
This is why I didn't do notes because I knew you were gonna make them, and I would off the bat know what you're talking about. That was the funniest shit I've ever read. Okay, this man literally bought every ice cream shop in a 5-mile radius.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is starting the trend where I'm like, now I'm starting to hate Archer because.
Hate? Really?
Yeah, well, hate on. I don't hate him. I'm hating on him.
Oh, I thought that was cute.
Because I don't got the type of money. Because whatever, I want the type of money he got.
Who gonna go get ice cream other than?
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. If I like this nigga, I would go and buy all the Canal Coffees, all the Barnes and Nobles, all the Books a Million. I'm just calling out home. I want sponsorship from the podcast at this point. I will go buy all of it. This man, whatever, and till the end, I'm not going. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe are we doing like
we've been doing spoilers?
Okay. At this point, this man just buying whatever Serenity like.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's like you buying the way to her heart. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, as she should. I thought it was hilarious though. The man bought all the ice cream shops.
I'm like, now every man in America is gonna have to like buy an ice cream shop for his girlfriend now.
Yeah, and close it every time she's trying to go to some other. Yeah, so like he bought every ice cream shop in a 5-mile radius because her and Theo were supposed to go get ice cream together, like they used to.
And everywhere there was
and every time
he buy a restaurant too that like they were going to, and she was concerned like that they wouldn't be able to get seating or something.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh well, it doesn't problem."
No.
Because he knows he'd get fired because I'm the owner.
Yes. But like, he had bought that one way before he met her.
Oh, okay.
Or way before they got together. He had already owned that one.
Oh, okay.
But the ice cream shop, it was he didn't want her and Theo to go to get ice cream because he started noticing that Theo started noticing her in a more of a friendly, more than a friend type of way. So he bought all of them and closed them. They were all signed to say closed, under construction. And it just so happened to be every single time her and Theo went to go get ice cream. But when when he went to go get ice cream with her, or she went to go get ice cream by herself, that was good.
Man, Archie know how to move, boy. That was a move.
Do you remember when they were at the little that little area and he took out the ice cream and she was like, "Where'd you get this from?" It was closed. He was like, "It's not closed for the owner."
It's not closed for the owner.
Stop it.
I was like,
I've been there.
I was like, oh.
When the sign showed up and it said all the other ones, I said, "Theo, you dog."
Isn't this the bag scenario though? Because he was like, he told her like, I don't like to share or something like that. I don't know. Probably not.
He done been told her he don't like to share, and he don't like that. He don't like that she want to go out with Theo. He done been told her that.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
but she kept trying to. She kept trying to do it.
This is when it was kind of like skipping some chapters. So the next one, chapter 35.
He said that word for word.
This was fire. I ain't even gonna lie. Yo, okay, so this is why I put 4 exclamation points.
You did. That's all you put.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because I was like, bro, this is totally something I was.
That's toxic.
That's the right kind of toxic, though.
That is. I mean,
do you want to say it?
So in this chapter, they had their little fun. And he said, "Go ahead," because I think Theo wanted to hug her, or they were gonna hug or whatever. But he said, "Go ahead and hug him with my juice coming out of your container,
reminding
you who you belong with." To. Yeah,
and I would say the same thing.
Didn't he also keep her underwear?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he said that.
Yeah.
Because she was like, well, what am I going to wear?
I need those.
And he was like,
nothing.
Just, you know what I'm saying? You want to be around that nigga? You want to be around that nigga? Well, then.
I cannot.
Drip like a faucet in winter. I'm just saying to do that so I won't freeze.
I cannot.
Oh my gosh. Alright, chapter 42. I want...
What?
We're not even going.
No, I don't. This is like... This is okay. This is a prime example of how it was with the books. I want to you a coffee shop because you like coffee shop. You like... What?
I think at this point I was realizing that like he was buying everything for her. So I made it a note to be like, damn, every time I want to buy you a coffee shop.
Yeah, because he did buy her a coffee shop.
Yeah.
He bought her a coffee shop and all the ice cream shops around her job. Yeah.
Chapter 44.
What is this?
The big reveal. Chapter 44. Tyra.
Oh, that's trifling. Oh, can we talk about this now?
Huh?
Can we talk about this now?
Yeah. So,
I knew it.
44 is the big reveal. I knew it because, like I was saying, whenever something is repeated or is given importance, it's given importance for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, there's no way that you just keep bringing her up by name.
Yeah.
Just all the time. But boy, was it a heck of a reveal. I was like, oh.
I knew it.
And this is the part where I was frustrated because the Kindle kept syncing to the Audible app.
And they kept giving you.
And then it jumped to the chapter
that I was in.
And I figured out that she was back. I was like, oh, it's spoiled for me. I mean, I kind of thought it was going to happen anyway.
I already knew it was going to happen.
Like 90%. But I still, like I told you, I would have liked to figure out.
Y'all keep bringing Tyra up. You don't know what happened to her, who she with, where she went, how she went. None of that. You don't know if she dead or alive. Right. I knew something was going to happen. Tyra's going to come back somehow.
And then I put, I don't know why you feel guilty. You was dead. I mean, you was dead to us.
It's not dead. She was struggling.
Serenity. I don't know why you feel guilty.
But Tyra trifling.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that in the
Oh,
later
okay, go ahead
chapters.
then.
Because, yeah, she a little bit.
That was trifling. What she did.
I put episode 45. I was driving at this moment.
I see that.
And I was like, I gotta change the title, but it's chapter 45. And I put here.
No.
Now you gotta juggle the women.
Stop. Oh, this is okay.
And then he lies, and then here was my other note. He lies to both girls because he tells Tyra he won't leave her again, and then turns around and tells Serenity that Tyra's appearance, like her showing up, doesn't change anything between him and her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just lied to both of their faces at that moment.
Okay.
At that moment, he lied to both of them.
Yeah, I can see what you're. I don't think he purposely meant to lie, but yes.
He didn't yet tell Tyra that he would never leave her again as a friend.
Yes.
He knew that she still was holding on when she came back.
That's true.
And he knew that at some point it was going to get tiring to have to consistently be there for Tyra and put her as a priority. So you know that's going to change things between you and Serenity.
Yeah. I think...
And you slow-rolled telling her that you actually wanted to be something serious. So at this point, you can't use that as a thing.
I think where he messed up was the fact that regardless of what Tyra went through, he just went along with what she wanted and didn't like remind her, hey, we broke up. I'm still here for you as a friend, but I'm in a whole different relationship. Like, I'm with somebody else. He just let her run with, oh, you're all I thought about. I can't be without you.
Yeah, but when somebody comes back for something that dramatic, do you really want to, like, be the asshole in that moment?
Look.
Look, we're not going based off of how Tyra acted.
No.
Throughout the course of the book.
Based off of just her trauma and then this, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't want to be that person, and it hurts to have to do that, and it might hurt that person, but you also currently in their moment of trying to recuperate, the last thing you want to do is give them false hope.
That's true.
You don't want to, like...
True. And Tyra even mentioned that, like, towards the end, like, you know, you can't continue to, like, I can't continue to think that you're going to do something when then later on down the road I'm just going to be let down.
Right.
Yeah.
So he should have just told her.
That's right.
Maybe not, obviously, when she came back. Like, not on the day she just came back. But the next day, if she kept making those assumptions of, you know, being with him, would have been like, hey, I'm here for you. And I will be here for you, whatever you need to do to get back to who you were and whatever, but not in that capacity. And that's okay to do, regardless of anybody's situation, I think. But
now you gotta juggle the women, bro. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I cannot.
Chapter 46.
Oh, can we go? Wait. Before you say that.
Okay.
Before you say that. Another thing that I thought was trifling for Asher was... You know what's messing me up? The other book I read about her, his name was Ash.
Asher.
His name was Ash.
Oh, Ash.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying Asher. I'm combining them together.
How to get away with murder. Asher.
Archer called Tyra by all, and I literally mean all, of the pet names that he was saying to Serenity. I'll shoot you. I wish you would say every single... It wasn't like, oh, because I think it was like darling, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
I mean, didn't he call her babe?
Did he call her baby?
No, not baby, but babe, I think.
Which one did she come back? 44, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to look this up, because right here, look, 44.
And she even said it too. You're calling her all the pet names that were reserved
For
for
real.
me.
That I thought were mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I see a whisper right there.
Where?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Hi, I whisper.
I whisper.
Not murmur.
Not murmur.
Boy, I never want to hear murmur again. I think that was one of the top ones.
Darling.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. Nah, babe. No, babe.
Don't cry, darling. I've got you. Everything's okay. You're home, baby.
So he did call her baby. That's
so that was
wild.
first. That was the first one. She was like, what? And she says it. My chest begins to ache as he holds her, calling her every term of endearment I thought was mine.
The pew pew. The pew pew. I got you.
Okay.
The pew pew.
Okay.
Right. Episode 46. So Kristen moves out of Theo's house, and now you have time for her.
Always. Oh yeah. Now's when he realizes, I should have. First of all, you started realizing this after you have a girlfriend, and after she obviously started moving on. Right. When her time was no longer, and I think that was another issue, is her life revolved so much around Theo and like only being with him and all that stuff that he didn't care. He was like, oh, I'll always have her.
Yeah.
Right? But then she started paying attention to Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mount Everest, and didn't no longer wanted the slope. So now the slope was like, oh, wait, now she going over here to Mount Everest and the peak. She not.
I don't know. The slope.
Oh, so the slope was like, she not sloping over here no more. She over there with Mount Everest.
Yeah.
What's that about? Let me go get her back into the slope. No, don't want the slope no more. I thought I'm gonna climb this mountain. What?
Yeah, I thought it was bad.
And then you threw all that stuff in my face that you did with her. Stuff I planned. I took my time out of my day to plan stuff that we were supposed to do together. For you to only go do it with some other person.
But it almost worked. Just for the fact that Tyra came back. It almost kind of worked.
What do you mean almost kind of worked?
Because look, if for a moment Archer was going to entertain the thought of being with Tyra again, she was going with Theo. She was out of there.
Nah, she won't go back with Theo.
Okay, so now what she going
I don't know, but she wouldn't have gone with Theo. I don't think she would have gone with Theo. And I think Theo only literally wanted her because of the fact that he no longer had her attention. Because he said I see how you look at him.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it took your ex telling you that this girl has always liked you for you to just realize, okay, maybe I should take a chance on this thing.
What he said was, from what I understood reading it, was that they both liked each other.
Who?
Theo and her liked each other. He just never said anything. And she never said anything.
That's not what I took from it. What I took
What
from
chapter is this? 46.
What I took from it is that he never really paid attention to it. I think he was trying to talk his way into the draws. He never really paid attention to it, and he finally gets to the moment where his ex tells him, "Oh yeah, she really likes you," and he's like, "Oh yeah, maybe she really does like me, and maybe I should finally take a chance on this between us. Maybe this friendship is a little bit more than friendship." That's what I took from it. I didn't take from it that they both always known that they both always liked each other. No.
That's what I kind of got, but it's in further, further into the book where he was like, you used to look at him, you look at him the way you used to look at me.
Well, let's move on to another thing that frustrated me in chapter 49. I'm done with her saying she doesn't want to take Tyra's place and then saying that he's hers. At this
Okay,
point,
so that was another thing that bugged me because Tyra no longer had a place.
right?
Tyra before she got kidnapped,
Was broken up,
yeah, she ain't had no place no more there.
right?
So what place are you
But
taking?
she don't want to take the Tyra's place in his mind.
That sounds like he problem.
But yet you want to be territorial and you want to say that he's yours.
Mm,
Like you thinking that you're never gonna live up to some
Tyra's
standard for what
expectations.
somebody wants, but then at the same time, ooh, that's my man. Well, obviously not. If you saying that, like this
I
is
think
my
more.
point with
I think
Serenity. At this point, is just a little frustrating. Like
what
contradictory.
she meant to say is that she didn't want to. I don't know any other way to say it other than a comparable example would be stepdad and father.
Mm,
Like you can never physically take that place
of a
of a
dad
of
who's
a
actually there.
biological, yeah.
Who's actually
Sure.
there.
But you can be part of that person's life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she kept thinking was she doesn't want to take Tyra's place in his mind.
But she still won't be stepmama.
Sure.
Step smutty buddy.
Sure. Like she didn't want him to forget Tyra,
Mm-hmm.
but she still wanted him for herself.
Why you don't want him to forget Tyra? This is my whole thing.
I ain't gonna lie, because he
with
did
the
make it
whole
seem
painting
okay.
thing and the whole.
I'm not gonna lie. He
It was.
did make it seem, and it wasn't until later on where he said it wasn't that he was holding on to her out of love.
Mm-hmm.
It was he was holding on to her out of guilt. Because if it wasn't for the fact that they broke up, he would have gone on that trip with her.
Yo, at this point in the book, yo, shout out to Ezra, bro. My man, no, for real.
He stayed out of it. He back home.
He knew and stayed out the way.
Yeah.
He stayed out of the way and knew the whole time. But I say that to say it was, I don't know where it was, and I know I didn't put in a note because I knew I was going to remember, but I don't know what chapter it's in. But Ezra was talking to Serenity, and he was like, well, they never actually really, like, he never really loved her, and he never really, like, wanted to be in a relationship with her. If anything, they argued a lot, and they were not
Yes.
good for each other.
Yes.
And he stayed not out of love, but out of guilt because he knew he was never gonna marry her.
Yeah.
He just stayed because, like, she saw him through a hard time in his life,
Yes.
and he felt loyalty, and that was it.
Yeah. And he did warn her that
Yeah.
he doesn't think he was gonna, that the person he was seeing, he kind of like.
He knew at that point, and that was early. It was wild.
He'd been known, yeah.
He knew.
He
Boy,
knew. He'd been known that she was the muse.
Yeah. Oh, for real? Oh, I didn't pick up on that. Really?
Yes.
He knew
in the
she was the muse?
way early.
Like way early.
Like, yeah.
Like in the beginning of the book?
In the beginning, like probably chapter 2 of Archer.
Oh, shoot.
Whatever Archer's next chapter was after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He knew.
Why? Because he like saw the paint bottles or something like that?
No, the little charm.
Oh.
Do you remember that or no?
Yeah, yeah. Where he caught her.
Yeah,
what?
But do you know why? Do you remember why the charm?
Because Archer had the charm. No. No. Okay. That's probably where I'm not paying attention.
No, because he knew it was her the moment that he saw the charm because he custom made the charm for Serenity.
Yeah.
There was no other charm that was the same to that one. That was her charm only, so that's how he knew. But he just never said anything.
It's kind of weird to get spoiled by your brother and not your father. Because there was never, and this is just a thought that just bounced into my mind from you saying that it was never really like her father spoiling her.
Mm-mm.
And then later on in the book, you realize that like the mother never really supported what Serenity wanted to do, but the father always believed in her.
Believed that she could, but you know what I think it was? I don't think they were, and she obviously did kind of insinuate but never actually said what she was. Her ethnicity isn't like she has
that last name. Serenity
Adesina.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if she was like of the Latino culture or if she was something else. But she was a person of color apparently.
Okay.
So
and Archer was definitely one.
Stop.
Harrison?
Stop.
Archer Harrison?
Yeah. But
I mean, it could be a black Archer Harrison.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying?
But the parents were very adamant. Like, they came here, they immigrated from here to here, and they worked. So I can see why there was no really spoiling. You spoiled enough with the fact that you're living comfortably, because we're both lawyers.
Yeah.
Good lawyers. You know, you're living comfortably. You're able to go to school, you're able to do all this stuff with no worries. That is me spoiling you. Where, we could have stayed where we were and you didn't have that.
Right.
So I could see that as a thing for her culture.
Chapter 50. Why would she plant hope in Tyra's head when it will end in pain? I don't know specifically why I was saying that. Because
Tyra had made a comment that she lost Archer.
Oh,
that she was seeing that he was like pulling away from her, that he was her hope when she was locked up, and it looks like he's moved on. And Serenity Kim was like, no, he's making me draw a painting for
you. Yeah. He's never forgotten
about you.
Got you. Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
You dumb.
I was like,
Serenity, you dumb.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
don't lie to me. Just tell the truth.
Chapter 51. First, oh Lord, everybody with everybody. Second, author needs a way to wrap up the story.
What?
Okay, so here's my thing in chapter 51. Everybody's in love with everybody. Now we're starting to see that, like, who's gonna go where. And this is a way of the author putting a bow on, like, this person's going to be with this person, and this person's going to be with this person.
Are you saying that because wasn't that the chapter that, like, with Ezra?
Yeah. It was the first time that you got kind of, like, the hint that Ezra would kind of be with Tyra.
Mm-hmm.
And that Archer was still interested and committed to Serenity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we at no point hit the chapter where Celeste came back. That was a weird one.
Celeste?
Yeah.
Where she opened the door and
she started crying
because but you don't know why.
Huh?
You don't know why. It doesn't explain to you why.
Yeah, it doesn't at all explain why.
Which is a whole different book.
Oh, that's a book?
Yeah.
Is that one good too?
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't read it, but it is, and that's the thing. So, like,
this Celeste is the one that got the one that got the arranged marriage.
Yes, it's the sister, which she has her own book that talks about that marriage,
the arranged marriage,
and Archer's in it.
That they set up and they threatened.
Threaten
the fiance.
Bro.
That was funny. I was like, I'll totally do some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So we started to see everybody kind of like, getting their smutty buddy, and it was good because then I was like, this is good because the author is starting to like wrap up the story. Like, like I was saying, you can't have all this stuff hanging out in the air, and things that you do have hanging out in the air, you can use to tie in and do so. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
she is with this whole Celeste thing, and that's good. So that was good. I like that. Chapter 55, Theo loses.
Yeah.
Sorry, dog. You gotta go back. You gotta go back in the gym.
Stop.
You gotta train. You gotta get drafted to some team, but it's not Team Serenity. Theo tries to shoot his shot, and it misses.
And he loses. Thank God.
Come on.
She don't want that slope no more.
She don't want the slope. Mm-hmm. So now we gotta read the book about Theo now.
Oh no. I don't know. Don't make one.
Yo, you should not.
Do not. And ain't nothing.
You don't want a Theo book or a Christian book. You don't want. Okay.
Keep him over there. The only Theo book I want is what's her name? Oh, I don't even have it up here. It's from Elsie Silver. That's it.
So all right, chapter 59. This is what I was talking about. Hurt people hurt people. And this is where Tower realizes that she's trapped Archer. And this is something I wanted to spend a good time talking about, because this is very important to understand, that when you realize that you've trapped someone, when you realize that you've done something to somebody negatively, you gotta think back to like where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing how the author worked into how Tyra acted towards Archer and Serenity's relationship when she figured out that they like were dating and liked each other. How she just kept Archer trapped. Like, you know, with him, I felt like that was an amazing way of expressing that, like, those two, I think it was 2 years that she was missing.
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, her being trapped and being, tortured by somebody, of course she would come back and hurt somebody else the exactly the same way. And we as people do that all the time.
Yeah.
We go through pain, we go through all this different type of stuff, and then we go back and we do the exact same thing to people that we've been through. And we have the choice to either heal from it or continue doing it. So it was kind of cool that you realize that you've done something, and then you start to put in motion the undoing of what you've done and the releasing of somebody.
Okay. What? He put woohoo.
Ruined by the he drinks me in. Oh, I got it. There was some good vibes going on there. And then I heard that he drinks me in, and I was like, oh yeah, we fucking, we done. We done. It's just, I never want to hear it again.
I cannot.
Oh, chapter 61, he counted the days, 108. They knew the days that where they were away from each other. 34 days since we last spoke. I was like, man, that's kind of fly.
You don't remember those days?
Huh?
How many hours were we separated right now today? I cannot. I can't.
From like 7?
What? In the morning?
Yeah, no, I mean for 7 hours when we're separated today. Never mind.
I cannot.
And that's it. Wrapped in a pretty little bow. There were 62 chapters. So chapter 62 was great.
Yeah,
the epilogue was kind of cool too. You know what I'm saying?
The so the epilogue.
And then the father realizing that the one he couldn't get.
I was like, he keeps saying all of them but one.
When he keeps saying something, there's
and I'm like,
reason.
I wonder who has the one that he can't get. And I thought it was one that she just decided not to sell. But then the dad showed up with it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute. That's cute."
And he was like, "I'm not selling it." So
yeah, I'm not selling it. I just thought we could put it on here.
Dad move.
Yeah.
Dad move.
But one thing that I liked, which I have a feeling these people have their own book,
Mm-hmm.
um, but she was saying that from where she was standing, she can spot Elena and Alexander Kennedy, Silas and Alana Sinclair, Raven and Eris Windsor, Serena, Sierra and Xavier Kingston, accompanied by other Kingston families, and then Celeste and Zane, which is the sister and the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I think they have their own books.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you think she just called out all the couples from like all the other
Yeah, so
books?
from
That's
it
kind of
looks
cool.
like the characters kind of intertwine a little bit.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
They're in
pretty
the
cool.
same world. So
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought it was cool too. It was a good book.
It was a good book. It was cute.
It gave you the feel good. I this book when all right. Let me wrap it up all in a pretty bow here. When you can get people angry about characters,
Yes.
it's still good. When you can get somebody frustrated about what characters do, that's when you know you've captured people. And
Yes.
that's a majority of like what I wanted to say about this book is did they make me mad? Yes, they did. But did they capture you in
Mhm.
doing all that? Yeah, everybody loves entertainment. That's why we read. That's why we do all this. Was I entertained? Heck yeah, I was. Was I frustrated? Yes. I would say the
Yeah.
only negative thing I would have to say that is like probably negative and like not disparaging, but it's like it's kind of like please fix it. Is like the repetition of the different phrases and words.
Mm.
It's just like that is just like negative for no reason.
Yeah.
like
But I do agree though. Like books are supposed to be kind of like
the author is supposed to make me mad
yeah.
with the
It's kind of
character.
like a movie, but
Mm-hmm.
reading version, right? Obviously, that's kind of how I see it. So if I'm able to get angry, laugh, um, get annoyed, get panicked, I think it's a great book overall. When I can do all that, if I'm just reading it through and I'm like, this ain't hitting, or this is just like meh, then it wasn't a 5-star read for me.
Word.
Yeah.
And Troy Duran and Moray Brehan, y'all did an amazing job on narrating the book. But I think this will be my last time I will listen to an audiobook. No, for real. Just because I had there's books like I don't know if y'all are familiar with this or whatever, but there's books like Jordan Peterson books where he narrates his own books. These
Hmm.
are like nonfiction books, and people actually like that because he reads it with the conviction that he wrote the book
Right. Right.
in.
Right. Right.
When it comes to fiction narration,
Mhm.
you want to envision your characters in the world how you see it and how the author is describing it. And I feel like a narrator will get the depiction of what they feel the book is trying to convey,
Mm.
and they'll run with it in their way. And I kind of felt like, even with the repetition of the words and stuff like that, I mean, you read the book and was still frustrated about how the phrases and words were repeated, were you not?
Not the repetition.
No.
No.
Okay. So, I mean, no, but
It's the way that you were like,
no,
no, no, I'm
right.
not the repetition, but like there was some things that I was just like annoyed with.
Okay, okay. None of it had to do with the repeating phrases. Well, okay. No, but okay. So that goes to say, maybe if I had read the book in my own voice,
It wouldn't have bothered you as
maybe
much.
it wouldn't have bothered me as much.
Mm.
Maybe if I would have read it in a different, because I probably read in different tones.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe it was just like it being said the same way over and over again. It was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe it's a robot reading to me or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's my last time reading like an audiobook of these because maybe I can't do that. Maybe the spicy scenes would have been a little bit more spicier for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I can see that.
Because at the same time, it was like, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, maybe want to read these spicy scenes in my own voice because y'all voice
ain't
doing
doing it for you, which is the reason why I don't do audiobooks because of that same thing. The voices that I create in my head, even though every book is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Every book's person's voice in my head is the same, but I don't know why. But it's the same voice all the time.
Because I like the same type of man.
Why is the high pitch stuff? But reading, like, listen, some people do the tandem listen and reading where they can listen to it while they're physically reading the book.
And
I can't do that.
Why I said it's my last time of listening on an audiobook. Because like I said, when I wanted to get through those last 2 chapters, I did the tandem reading. And when I was reading in my own voice while listening to it, after listening to 60 chapters of the narration and reading in my own voice, I was like, damn, I should have read the whole book to myself.
Jeez, yeah.
Because it's way different these last 2 chapters. It feels way different when I'm reading it than listening to the audiobook.
Yeah, you change it. The tone, how the person, if the person's yelling, if they're not, whatever, you change all that by yourself instead of having to listen to it. My big thing was the voices. The voices didn't compare to what I had in my head, so then the book wasn't good for me listening to it.
And maybe I would have caught all the stuff that I missed.
Yeah,
if I would have read it to myself. and it was that I was reading the audiobook because I was doing other stuff while reading it. So it was convenient.
Yeah.
Because I was able to do real estate, go to my appointments while doing it, you know what I'm saying? And when I was out there doing Uber, making a little bit of extra income, I was listening to it while I was doing that. And granted, there was a couple rides where people would talk to me while I'd be listening to it, so I'd have to rewind it.
So you were listening in the car while the people are there?
Well, no, I have 2 phones, so I would be playing music on my phone in the car for the riders, and then I'd have the AirPods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not the spicy scene, right? Not the spicy scenes in the Uber.
While the person in the car, they'd be like, "Excuse me."
Right. It's wild. Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. You like the book overall? See?
It was a good book.
Okay.
I feel like if anybody's able to get you invested and get you emotionally involved with the story, where you taking chapter by chapter notes on what's going on, then it's good. Is it a trope that is commonly used? Yes.
Oh, yes.
But archetypes, these tropes work for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Love triangles, lovers and friends to soulmates,
so friends to lovers.
Friends to lovers? Oh, that's what's called.
Yeah. So you have friends to lovers, enemies to lovers.
Oh.
And then the tropes, you have age gap, best friend's brother.
Oh.
Brother's best friend.
I mean, this is kind of
Yeah, which is that brother's best friend. What's the other one? Single dad.
Single dad.
Yeah, they have a single dad.
Y'all is spicy.
Single
dad.
Yeah.
Daddy.
They have a second chance. Then you
begging. That's called the begging category.
Then you have hockey romance.
Hockey.
Hockey, country cowboy.
Oh, hockey.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Spicy
Hockey. I have 2 of them: Pucking Around, Pucking Sweet, and Pucking Wild, the Trevor Turner, because it doesn't match the other 2. Those are hockey romances. So it's about a hockey player and somebody else.
And you want to read that?
I mean, it's
getting into something new.
Yeah. There's other ones Throttle.
Is it based around hockey though? Okay,
I don't know because a lot of people I don't know. This is a good question because hockey to me is a weird sport. I would understand football.
It's a hot. People fight a lot in hockey. It's a physical sport.
I would understand. There's also football ones and
maybe
soccer ones.
The men do be fighting.
And they're buff, sweaty, whatever. But there's also race car ones. So Throttle is a race car one.
I can understand that.
Yeah. So there's like different tropes depending on one. They have like a rock star one, which not my thing. But
you got any goth ones?
I don't think so. Not. What do you mean goth?
No, I mean like.
Then my child is over there, but no. No.
You got any like I don't know.
They have a fairy tale retelling ones.
Mm.
So like they'll take Ariel, Aladdin, all those fairy tales and like do a retelling of them. Some of them are dark romance retellings. So instead of like her falling in love with Aladdin, she falls in love with Jafar.
Whoa, that's wild.
Yeah,
and it's spicy.
Yeah, on top of that.
Oh my goodness! Rub my lamp, girl.
Like I think Hexed. That's the new one that Emily McIntyre made. I read all her other ones except for Crossed, because that one's a retelling of Notre Dame, and I hated Notre Dame growing up.
Like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes, I hated that book so much. I hated that movie so much. I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. But I didn't read that one.
It's because the man was ugly.
No.
Because
honestly,
isn't it like at the end he's like a beautiful man or something?
No, he stays. No? He stays the same way.
Oh,
he stays
the
same way.
So what's the point that?
I mean,
I never watched it either.
I don't get the point, but I think more so for me is that when I was little, it was a little creepy. Like the only person who was like joyful and happy was the gypsy girl. But everybody else was creepy. The little dude, the hunchback, he was creepy, but not because of how he looked. It was just the way that I guess they created him was creepy to me when I was younger. And then the priest, creepy as hell.
Okay. Yeah.
Standing in front of that green ass fireplace. You're supposed to be a priest. Get away from me. No, that wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. But that I think she falls in love with Captain Hook instead of Eric. Mm-hmm. So there's that one. But yeah, they have different ones that you can read. Which one? Whatever. Pick our next book.
Which brings us to
right, there you go.
What's our next book gonna be? Man. If only we had some people listening and watching the podcast out there to give recommendations.
Den of Vipers, 5 stars. Everybody should read that book. Just want to put that out there.
Okay, so
while you're looking,
what is that one based off of?
Oh, pass it to me right here. We're about to do like a little mini.
Where is it?
It's right here, baby.
Where? Oh, Den of Vipers. Whoa.
We're about to do a mini. We listen and we don't judge.
This is wait.
Den of Vipers.
This looks like a serious book.
Yeah, it's a very thick book. And I'm a little mad because not Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million had Roxy is the main character.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
I like the way that looks. Ooh.
Yeah.
So is this like emo? Like grunge?
Why you say it like that? Is this like emo?
Is this like emo? Look at that. It's like
so it's about
roses and...
It's about 4 guys who are in a gang. We listen. We don't judge. It's about 4 guys who are in like this little gang.
Protect that kitty cat.
Their names are Ryder.
Only got 3.
Their names are Ryder.
So one of them gotta hang back while one of them get tired.
No, wait. Their names are Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo, and Diesel. Okay. So they run the town. They run a business. And there's a guy that owes them money. And hold on, it's the brother, and he ends up selling his sister to pay back his debt.
Yeah.
So they take her, and she's like, I'm not going without a fight. So she beats him up with a bat, and they like fall in love with her instantly. And so they take her, and she becomes part of the group.
So they fall in love with her.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Ooh.
So like They each.
Yo,
Stop! Don't judge this book.
I'm not judging.
They each have.
So there's definitely some multiple scenes. There's some scenes with multiple.
Actually,
you read it already?
yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Five stars. Look, I like all of them, but Diesel, for those who know, no.
If you know, you know.
Diesel. Diesel cray cray.
I mean, Diesel.
Diesel cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? Like, I think Ryder is the head, right? He's like the main, he's the one that wears suits all the time. He runs it. Garrett is more of the bodyguard, right? He's like the buffer, the muscle type thing. Kenzo.
Diesel ain't the muscle.
No. Kenzo is. You always have to have somebody who lightens up the mood.
Oh, okay.
The jokester, the jokester, whatever. He'll get down for whatever. That's Kenzo. Diesel.
It's quiet.
Diesel is the one that when you need to go to the basement with one of these people that owe you money.
Yeah.
Diesel go to the basement.
Uh-huh.
Diesel is the basement.
Okay. Basement man.
Yeah.
So Diesel was the one with first dibs.
Diesel will cuckoo. No, Diesel will cuckoo. Okay. But she goes with each of them. I don't think there's any time where they're together, but she goes with each of them. But Diesel has a scene with a knife.
Whoa.
It's really nice. It's really nice.
It's really. We listen. Now, we don't judge.
Yes. You want to tell you about the scene?
No.
Oh,
damn. Y'all want a video? Do y'all want a video?
Oh, we can do a little TikTok listen to Don't Judge type thing. No. Oh, I'm gonna save it. So let me put it right here. All right. What other one? Oh, any of the Blood and Ash? Yes.
Did you read all these?
Lark? Yeah. Yes.
Did you read all these? Okay. This is not your TBR, huh?
No. Okay. That bottom shelf is my TBR. This shelf right here is my TBR, and that one down there is my TBR. Ooh. So it's just these three bottom shelves.
Anastasia's jumping out to me.
Really?
Millie's like, maybe not.
But take it out and read it. She's a little thick. She's a little thick.
So tell me about good writers, right?
Sophie Lark is a very good writer.
Sophie Lark is a good writer.
She's a very good writer. I read all of those books up here. She's the one that did the Kingmakers and the Brutal Birthrights, like the very first couple of books that I read. She's the one that did them. Okay. Yeah, I live and breathe, shit and eat, die and relive myself again for Sophie Lark.
I thought that was Jennifer. Thought it was Jennifer Armentrout. Yeah.
I love Jennifer Armentrout and I love her writing, really good writing, but I can't. Sophie Lark.
Sophie Lark is better. Okay.
That's my girl.
I think you were kind of mad when Willow Winters followed me on TikTok and didn't follow you.
That's true.
So you don't want to. Look, Willow Winters. I don't know how you followed me out of all people.
I'm just mad that
I took the follow, and I told Millie, I was like, Willow Winters followed me.
I'm just mad she didn't follow me. That's what's up.
No, it's all good. It's all right. It was because I posted that video of you in the bookstore. That's what it was. Of us walking around the bookstore. She was like, "Oh, I have to follow this man because he's the only one that posted a video of his wife walking through the bookstore."
I cannot.
I don't know. Maybe we'll read some Sophie Lark. Maybe Anastasia. Maybe there is no.
So that is a dual. No, that's a duet. Okay. So you need to read There Are No Saints first before you read that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Sophie Lark, the only ones that you can read there.
You read that one already.
Yes.
So you're just waiting on reading that one.
Yeah.
That's wild. Because you done read so many other books, and I'm pretty sure you read that a long time ago.
Yeah. The only one that you could read that we could read about from her would be Sophie Lark, Minx, and Anastasia, because those two are standalones.
Okay.
So they're not really.
The Striker. What's that about?
That's a new series that Anna Huang is doing, and it has to do with soccer, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the spice level for Anna Huang?
She's more slow burn than anything. But once it's
I
good.
want high spice authors. What? Where's the high spice authors at?
Mm, mm, mm,
Willow Winter,
mm,
Sophie Lark, Jennifer.
mm-mm.
Rita
Well,
King.
Sophie Lark she does good spicy scenes. Her spicy scenes are good, and they're not slow burn. They're kind of like mid burn type thing. But if you're looking for like getting in there,
Who getting in there?
if you're looking to just jump
You done
into
read
it,
them all already.
yeah, yeah.
Now you're trying to get slow burn authors. That's what it is.
No, now I'm reading like just
Mm-hmm.
more of the same authors that I've read.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading more of their books,
Okay.
but yeah, I didn't read most
Like
of the
which
good
one?
ones.
Tell me.
So like the ritual, the sinner, and the saint.
Uh huh.
The saint? No, the sacrifice.
Uh huh.
Those are really good. Those are jumping into that thing.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, those are good. But I read those already. I mean,
Yeah.
you can read them too. I don't mind. But
No, I want something we can read new together and react to it together.
oh, okay, yeah. Mm.
To be claimed and to be faded by Willow Winters. That sounds
That
like it'll be.
is a couple of books in one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a collection. So To Be Claimed is one whole is like 3 books, 3 to 4 books, and then To Be Faded is like 4 something books in that one book.
Okay. About what though?
It's a paranormal romance.
So a relationship with a ghost?
I don't know. Hand them to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I bought the books from Willow Winters,
Mm.
but I've never read one of her books. Their authoritative possessive is felt before anything. No, I think these are werewolf. Is a dark paranormal romance with high heat, suspense to keep you on edge. And she recommends that this one be read first. That's the second book to another one. And that's more like rom-com. And that's slow burn too.
God of Wrath.
That's the one that we both have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read it already?
No, I read it. It's on there. I read it. That's the one that we both have. Okay, so I read the first couple of pages.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you did. Did you?
No.
Okay, so basically she's on the bridge.
Uh-huh.
She's about to herself, and he walks by, and she like kind of gets scared, and she slips, and he grabs her to like hold her, right? And she's like, "Are you gonna pull me up?" He was like, "Yeah, if you suck my dick."
Oh yeah, I read that. Yes. Okay, that was getting kind of good. I actually started reading that. It was getting good. The men in the secret society known as the Lords think they rule the world, and in a way they do. Each has sold their soul to the devil at a young age in exchange for power or wealth, like anything else. They have different levels of success. The more they're willing to serve, the more power they have. Among them are the Spade brothers who run Carnage. It's where the lords who have not held up their oath go to live out the rest of their lives in shackles, tucked away from the world as if they never existed. I vow, you vow, we vow. Okay, I think we found it. What?
No, go ahead, go ahead. Can be okay, cool.
What?
You can read it as a standalone.
What?
So this is part of the ritual, the saint, and the sacrifices world.
Oh.
So Carnage is a place that is called Carnage. It's run by 3 guys. 3 guys who are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You go in there and they torture people for the hell of it. Just for fun. Like for no reason other than that. It gets mentioned a couple times in all 3 of these books, but you can read this without having to read that.
I think we're gonna save that because I'm. You said they're cuckoo, and then I was like, oh man, it killed it for me.
Don't.
What?
Be careful with it.
I am careful.
Okay, do you want fantasy?
Yeah, light fantasy though.
So, like, Her Soul to Take is about a girl falling in love with the devil.
No.
Okay. One Dark Window, I think, has fantasy in it. I don't know much about it, but
Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare. An ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. And Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road. Her life takes a drastic turn, thrust into a world of shadow and deception. She joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason.
Yes. No. It's looking like a no.
But is the spice level where we need it to be?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think the spice is like
Existent at all.
I think it's like slow burn. No, it is existent. It's just very slow burn. That's the second one to it. Oh, pestilence. Why don't you read pestilence?
What's that about?
This one right here. It's about the 7 deadly sins. That's upside down.
Why is all these books so dark? Why are all these so dark? Why can't we just have something that's like...
Read it.
Huh? Okay.
Oh, you want something light?
Oh, she softens his dark heart.
Tastes like no. Okay, so not that one.
This is much harder than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
What? Okay, brutal vows. Brutal vows.
You need to read like 4 of them before you know. Actually, do you? Brutal vows. Let's see. Let's see if it can be. Oh my god, it's so cute. Look at the new version.
It has gold edges. Yellow.
Look at the new versions. Because all the other versions, they're pretty cool.
A Fate Inked in Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's this one about? Let's do this one. A Fate Inked in Blood. I'm calling it.
Okay.
Yeah? No?
Fine.
Why are you looking at me like that?
No, we can do that one.
Why? What's up?
Nothing.
What's
a
up?
Fate Inked in... Let me check something. Hold on. Before you...
You checking the spice level?
No.
What?
I'm checking to see if it's on Kindle. What are you looking for again?
Maybe a little bit of fantasy, spice level on like 3 or more, and good writing. I don't want to hear murmur again.
Doubt it. I doubt that's not gonna happen.
Butcher and Blackbird?
Yes. So it's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, like a rom-com.
Okay.
About 2 murderers that go around killing other bad people. Okay, so look at Quicksilver.
But the spice level though,
it says, so I got like a thing that says TikTok with the perfect amount of spice. Yeah. And this one is one of them, and I have it. The Coven is one of them.
Which one?
That one. Nope. Yep. Nope. The one next to it. Yep. The Coven, they say, is another one. And then When the Moon Hatched, which is this one.
I was looking at that one. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm proposing, save that TikTok.
This one?
Bookmark it.
Okay.
And let's read these 3 as our next ones.
Okay.
And then let's reply.
Let her know whether that's...
Let her know what we think about them.
Okay. You're gonna have to cut a lot of this, right?
Yeah, but it's fine.